A big spotlight on the small country of Laos this weekend. This landlocked communist nation of 6.5 million people will be center stage of geopolitics. It's hosting foreign ministers from the 10 nations in the regional bloc, ASEAN. The diplomatic fight over territory in the South China Sea will be brought here, involving nations outside Southeast Asia. The Chinese foreign minister and the U.S. Secretary of State are flying in for direct meetings with ASEAN ministers. They are meeting for the first time since the Court of Arbitration in The Hague ruled that China does not have historical rights to its territorial claims in the South China Sea. China is refusing to accept the decision made last week. The U.S. welcomed it. Even though 4 of the 10 ASEAN members are tangled in territorial disputes with China, don't expect any statement on the issue coming out of the meetings. ASEAN notoriously avoids anything political, as each nation has its own unique dependency on China.
So I think the big challenge to ASEAN right now is maintaining that principle of ASEAN centrality. They decide as one. It's consensus. It's unity. It does mean that dramatic moves are very unlikely to happen.
He went on to say that simply keeping ASEAN together will be an achievement in itself, and that the focus of the bloc, while avoiding regional politics, will remain on trade and growing their economies, some of which have stalled. China became ASEAN's biggest trading partner 7 years ago. Last year, trade totaled $500 billion. Nations with territorial disputes walk a thin line. Pushing too hard could cost them billions. As U.S. warships patrol the disputed area, along with the Chinese Navy, the Philippines, Vietnam, and others, there's a growing concern of an accidental confrontation. And not just between the U.S. and China, nations in the region are on a military buying spree. And any clashes would dramatically change the conversation when the ASEAN heads of state meet in September. Scott Heidler, Jazeera, Vientiane.